Hello, how are you? Are you excited for Halloween? It's right around the corner. You know what else is coming up very, very soon? It's the 10-year anniversary of Artpop. Artpop. So like the true obsessed marketing girly I am, I've put together a presentation of what I would do if I was running the show for the 10-year anniversary. And who knows, maybe if this gets big enough, the House of Gaga might see this and take some of our ideas on board. So I did do a version of this on TikTok a while ago, but I've since added to my presentation. So if you've already seen that, don't worry, we're going through some new stuff. I'm just gonna get my laptop and go through. Okay, so as I say, it's gonna be the 10-year anniversary of Artpop. Lady Gaga's, what album was it? Fourth? Fame Monster, Born This Way, Artpop. Yeah, her fourth album. Gosh, 10 years already, it's crazy. Artpop was such an interesting time for me because it was like the first time I actually went and like saw Gaga in person outside of a concert. I'd been to the Born This Way ball and the Monster ball, but Artpop is the era where I was like waiting outside the hotel and trying to meet her and stuff like that. And I succeeded, and I did meet her before the iTunes festival. She was going in to rehearse and she dressed up in this beautiful houndstooth outfit. And yeah, she stopped and took pictures and signed my box of Cheerios. So yeah, Artpop is always gonna have a really, really special place in my heart. So I would just love to see her team get really creative and do some really fun stuff for the anniversary. Personally, I'm not expecting that much to actually happen. I feel like they'll definitely release some merch because, let's face it, merch makes a lot of money. And this is obviously what they did for the Born This Way anniversary. You know, they released the merch. They also put together that like cover album, which was, you know, a nice idea. I feel like we'll see something quite similar to what we saw for Born This Way, but maybe scaled back a bit, just because we know Gaga's already kind of had to acknowledge Artpop when she didn't want to. I don't know, I feel like she knows people are going to expect her to at least make some kind of social media post, but I don't think she's going to do too much for it, because at the end of the day she's in such a different place in her life now compared to where she was back then. 10 years is a long time. If anything, we should be really happy that she's not in this place anymore, even though it did create some really amazing art and music and memories. So on the agenda today, I'm going to go through our objectives. I told you, I've already given you a warning, this is very marketing style. Our objectives for this 10-year anniversary campaign, things to consider, and then I'll go through the actual content of what we should launch, what we should do, and yeah, let's get to it. So our objectives for the 10-year anniversary are to generate hype. Obviously, we want the fans to be excited, we want them to be engaged and inspired, and then obviously that will lead to the sale of merch and albums and an increase in streams. It's all about money at the end of the day, folks. There's no other reason really for Gaga's team to invest time in the Artpop anniversary if it's not going to make them money. I feel like the Artpop stans have proven they've got money already, so her team probably know what they're doing. Things to consider is that things have changed a lot in 10 years. So maybe there's certain songs we don't want to talk about too much, or maybe there's certain hairstyles we might not be repeating in 2023. But we also kind of want to leave Gaga alone where we can. I mean, even though it's her work, we already know that this was quite a difficult time for her. Nothing should be too triggering or over emotional. I don't think it's fair to kind of say Gaga herself needs to put loads of effort into celebrating the album when we know it's really bittersweet. All of these ideas, they could be scaled up to include Gaga, but a lot of them work as a, you know, standalone idea without her having to get directly involved. And finally, we're not going to acknowledge Act 2. There's only one Artpop album and it's called Artpop. Act 2 is not coming. I've already talked about this, it's definitely not coming. I don't know, it just feels like we should celebrate what happened. 10-year anniversary doesn't feel like the right time to then launch a whole new album and go back in time and revert back. It just feels kind of strange to do that. So these ideas hopefully aren't gonna lean too much into like the whole Act 2 bubble that some of the fans are living in. So let's get on to the fun stuff. So the merch categories. So I've designed some clothes, I've got some collector's items for the fans who have money, and then I've also got some special editions and re-releases. And just a total disclaimer, I've never really been into vinyl or designing vinyl or albums or box sets or anything like that, so I've just kind of guessed what people would like, but I'm not really in that whole like vinyl collector space. My TikTok comments told me I did a good job on these, so I hope that you do like them, but if they're not really up to scratch, I'm sorry, I did my best. So let's start with the clothes. One thing I think would be really nice, rather than just like the usual t-shirt drops that we normally see and the t-shirts that you can already buy on Gaga's store, it would be really cool to have like really bespoke unique designs. I loved this collection that Trixie Mattel did with Teddy Fresh. It's these really cool like Warhol style prints with Trixie on, and it's like garments. It's not just t-shirts, they're proper garments with Trixie on. And I thought that was so cool. And it really reminded me of this brand called Imi Studios, and she makes these really cool dresses with print all over. So I was thinking something like this could be really cool for Artpop. So I really quickly mocked up this jumper, and this photo shoot was from the Art Rave tour book. Maybe it's not for everybody, but I would wear this. But then for like the more low-key fans, I really like the Goddess of Love and Gaga as the Birth of Venus kind of imagery as well. So I think a nice mix for the fans here of like that really vibrant, one-of-a-kind pieces, but then that more wearable, toned down, just really beautiful, high quality Goddess of Love kind of stuff as well. Would be really nice to have a balance of both of those. This is maybe one of my favorite slides in here. So I have bought onto the Croc hype. I love Crocs, and I thought it would be really fun to have Lady Gaga Artpop gibbets. So I don't know how you feel about these, but I personally think this is one of the best things I've ever designed. We've got the little piggy for swine, we've got a seashell, we've got a coon's ball, the Artpop logo, and then a little paw, because obviously, I don't know if you remember, but she performed in like a monster claw chair on the Art Rave tour, so I thought that would fit in really nicely. And then in terms of other stuff, I feel like there needs to be more jewelry and accessories. So like I've got this picture of little pig earrings, and I found a picture of this seashell bracelet. Imagine that as like a big statement necklace like the one I'm wearing, but with all the seashells. That would be so beautiful. I also think it'd be nice to have an official Lady Gaga swine piggy bank. This ring, I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but I wear this ruby ring. I was looking at it and I was like, how cool would it be if this was like a coon's ball? So that could be a really nice piece of jewelry for like people to have on the merch store as well. And then I also think it'd be fun to have like temporary Artpop tattoos. Like everyone I know is obsessed with this Artpop tattoo that Gaga has, so I feel like for merch and like one-of-a-kind special items, it would be nice to have like the Artpop temporary tattoo like Gaga's. And then finally, it would be so easy and it would sell so many if they put like a seashell bikini, seashell girl kit on there. You've literally just got to get some strings, some plastic seashells. If they wanted to, they could sell the thongs as well. Like this would be the easiest, low effort but high payoff merch that they could do, honestly. Onto the collector's items, I think it'd be really nice to have like an Artpop book with all of the images from the Inez and Vanud shoot. There's so many shots from that shoot we haven't actually seen, so it'd be nice to have like some unseen shots in there. How long did they shoot for? Am I making this up? Did they shoot for something like 3 days for this? I can't remember, but there's so many different looks, even from the stuff we've seen already, and there's so much we still haven't seen. So I feel like a collector's item art book, coffee table book kind of thing would be really, really nice as a collector's item. And then my other collector's item idea, do you guys remember Gaga dolls? That she was supposed to release these like life-size Lady Gaga human-sized dolls, and they were really creepy. I don't know if we should release that, but obviously with the Barbie movie coming out this year, I feel like the hype around dolls, new life has been breathed into like doll collecting, I feel. So an actual Gaga like Barbie would be really, really cool. Why not for Artpop? It's like one of her most loved eras in terms of the fashion. Let's get on to like the music stuff now. So I've designed 2 special release vinyls for this. One is a 2-disc Artpop album, and you can see like the pink and blue kind of alternates. And then the Applause one, I looked up like rainbow vinyl because I really like these splatter vinyls. I think they're really, really pretty. The actual cover for Applause, I just zoomed in because I feel like the artwork for Applause is so beautiful. Just her face and the makeup, it's stunning, with the Applause just very, very small on the bottom right there as if it's an artist's signature. And then the actual vinyl to have this beautiful rainbow splatter disc, but then the picture in the middle for like the label is just a black and white still from the Applause video. I thought having like a colourful image here would just be too much and take away from how nice that rainbow splatter actually is. So that's what I've designed. And then in terms of what's actually on the vinyls, I think it would be cool to have Party Nauseous as a bonus track on the main album, especially as, you know, they're going to obviously take one track off that album when they re-release it, if they re-release it. So it'd be nice to replace it with something else. And I think Party Nauseous, we know she performed it on tour, so there's already like a mixed version of it ready to go. In terms of the Applause disc, I think it would be nice to have remixes on there, and we know Gaga's really loving performing jazz at the minute, so why don't we include a jazz version of Applause? She already performed this on SNL, people loved it, people post it all the time. I feel like this could be a really nice shout. And it wouldn't be a Gaga campaign without thinking about what Haus Labs is going to do and how Haus Labs is going to be involved. We know obviously they did the Born This Way vault for the Born This Way anniversary, which I thought was kind of underwhelming, I'll be honest. But Haus Labs has since rebranded, so obviously we're not going to get anything, how do I put this? We're not going to get anything as, it's going to be for the clean beauty audience, whatever happens. It's not going to be for the art pop hardcore fan audience, whatever happens. So what I've designed, I don't think we should do anything with like new applause kind of theme products because we already have the pigment paints and they lend themselves so naturally to like Gaga's applause looks from back then. But what could be really, really fun would be like a manicure set. It could be in like this signature Haus Labs mint green color. And then it could maybe come with like 3 little nail polishes as well. So a pink and a blue, because I always see pink and blue as like the art pop colors. I don't know about you guys, but like with the neon pink on the album cover and then the blue coons ball, I just feel like pink and blue are art pop colors. But in terms of like special releases other than the manicure set, I think it would be really cool to have a pink lip lacquer. I know Rose Shine exists. I've got it here. You can see Rose Shine. My nails are awful right now. How do I show you this without exposing my nails? You can see Rose Shine is like a nice color, but it's quite wearable. It's not like that bright art pop pink. So I think it would be nice to have a lip lacquer in Art Pop Pink. The lip lacquer seemed to be a fan favourite product, so that makes sense. And then I don't know if you guys saw, they've just released these eyeshadow palettes for Christmas, their holiday collection. I think it would be fun to have a little duo. So the actual ones they've released, I think have got 6 eyeshadows in, so they're like a palette like this. So I've just kind of photoshopped a little one with a duo in, and you would have 2 colours in each. So the top one is Mary Jane Holland inspired. You've got like a greeny kind of gold shimmer, and then a brown, and then the middle again is like that pink and blue for the more kind of out there fans, and then the bottom is a more wearable one which is a bit more on brand for like the current version of Haus Labs that we're living in. And this is the Goddess of Love duo. Got just nice romantic kind of pinky colours that are really, for me this is boring, I'll be honest, but I know it's wearable for a lot of people, so I think it's important to have those colors. So yeah, that's what I think Haus Labs should be thinking about. In terms of new content that we could get, again, like I say, if Party Nauseous could be a bonus track on the album, on the re-release, it would be nice to have a music video for that, and they wouldn't have to shoot a new music video. They could just use old tour footage and the fans would be so happy with that. The other thing I think would be really amazing to release, I don't know if you guys remember the Artpop app that was supposed to happen. One element of the Artpop app that never came to life was Trackstar, and the idea of Trackstar was that you were going to be able to access all the stems and all the parts of Gaga's songs. So like it wouldn't just be the instrumental and the a cappella, you'd be able to split up the a cappella, so it would have like vocal stems, so you'd be able to hear like her ad-libs separately and then her backing vocals separately and then the lead vocals separately, and you'd be able to make your own remixes within the Artpop app. I mean, the app obviously doesn't know. Does anyone still have the app? Does the app even still is it compatible still? I don't know. A 2023 version of Trackstar could literally just be like a folder with all of the stems. The fans would go wild for this, I can't even tell you. Like, especially in the TikTok era where all everyone does is make mashups, I feel like this would just be amazing. It'd be a great gift for the fans, but it could also have like amazing payoff in reviving the art pop songs in 2023. The way Bloody Mary just went viral, I feel like this would be a really good move. This one's exciting. So we all remember the art pop statue. This was like the big art pop statue that Jeff Koons printed for the Art Rave, which was Gaga's release event for Art Pop, where she performed the entire album, and she had this life-size, it's not life-size, it's bigger than life, no, it's larger than life, way larger than life. It's a larger than life sculpture of Gaga. So what would be really cool would be to have these statues like pop up in places like London and Paris and New York, and they would just randomly be there for a day, the way people do now sometimes with like photo opportunities and stuff. This would just be so cool. Can you imagine just like in the middle of London, this massive Gaga statue? It would just be amazing. Oh, Doja Cat has done this since I've come up with this idea. She did that with Scarlett, her little figures. Like that, but bigger. I feel like if they did this, it would need to be big. It couldn't just be like, because Gaga's sitting down on the floor, right? It would just be, could you imagine you just walk past it and you just like, what's that? It needs to be like a larger than life version like this one was. Cool idea for a competition. So if Trackstar happened and we did have access to all those music stems, what would be really cool would be to throw back to when Gaga had the sound puzzle challenge. I don't know if you remember this one, but this is how we got the song Stash. And what happened was Gaga posted separately the instrumental that she used from Zed and then the a cappella that she recorded, and fans had to piece them together in the right way. When someone finally got it right and pieced it together the correct way, she then released the song, and we had Stash as like a little bonus from Artpop. What would be really cool if we had Trackstar to encourage fans to make their own remixes and post them, and do that as like a little contest. I feel like that'd be so fun. And then maybe the winner could receive tickets to see Gaga sing jazz in Vegas. I mean, we all know she's going to go back and perform more jazz in Vegas. It's kind of like confirmed more or less at this point. I feel like though the only downside with this would be actually maintaining that contest would be really, really difficult to like sit and listen to long remixes. So maybe they could do it more like a TikTok version where it's like submit your TikTok sound rather than submit your entire long remix. And then if people still want to submit their remixes, they can. I feel like that could be a really fun little competition. Another competition could be to win like a Haus Labs bundle. I just feel like Haus Labs should be doing more fun things like this, you know? And what really makes sense for me is manicure, especially the first verse and chorus. Like, put some lipstick on, perfume your neck. I'm surprised this isn't like a viral TikTok sound already. People like getting ready to manicure. And this is where I think it'd be so nice if Gaga got involved, and it would feel more authentic, I think, because we know that she does a lot for Haus Labs and she doesn't really do much kind of social media stuff for other projects. She really is engaged on social media when it comes to Haus Labs. So this is where maybe she would want to do like a little manicure TikTok. The fans would love it whether they love makeup or not. But if Gaga wasn't getting involved, it would make sense to get Gaga what's the word? Gaga associated people like Sarah Tanno, her makeup artist, to do the challenge, and then also influencers that we know are Lady Gaga fans, like Nikki Tutorials is obviously a huge Gaga fan, so it would make sense to get them to do the challenge, and then everyone else would do it organically. But yeah, that could be fun. And then maybe you could win a bundle of like the Artpop Haus Labs products or something. This one's really good actually. So we all know Gaga has a song dedicated to Donatella Versace on Artpop, and when they did the 10-year anniversary for Born This Way, she released a little collection with Versace, and she also auctioned off this like replica Born This Way tour jacket. So what could be fun for Artpop, these gorgeous Versace corsets I designed. Oh my goodness, I would do anything to own one of these. I feel like they I can't even pick a favorite. I think maybe the pink. I don't know. They're both so nice. Limited edition Versace corsets, and then the proceeds could go to the Born This Way Foundation. Versace, if you're listening, please make this happen. So yeah, those are my ideas. Overall, I think the fans would be really, really happy if we had real life experiences like the statue pop-ups, brand new content, like whether it's Party Nauseous official release or a jazz version of Applause, or like the Trackstar stems would be amazing. And then memorable merch, not just like a couple of t-shirts, but like really fun, creative merch. Fans would be so happy. You'd make money across all Gaga related revenue streams, and then hopefully people would leave the Act 2 thing alone because they'd just be so happy with what we have from Artpop. But maybe that's wishful thinking. So yeah, let me know what you think. I feel like I did a very good job on this, but as always, down for more discussion in the comments. I've been doing a lot of Gaga content on TikTok lately. I don't know whether to post them here or not because obviously then they're filmed vertical. The TikTok limit is obviously like 10 minutes, whereas I've got more time to discuss and chat here if I want to go in depth with something. So even though I'm not posting here so often, I will still make videos for you when I have time. But yeah, TikTok's just a bit quicker for me at the minute. But if you don't follow me there, I am making constant Gaga content, so follow me at Big Pink Energy. Thank you so much for watching. Best wishes and kisses.